It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso right here on SABC3. Man, oh man, we are talking relationships. It's time for you to get involved.
We got Sanaziwe now joining us on the line. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you, first of all?
I'm good, thanks, Graham. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for connecting with us. This is quite a controversial topic, it's turning out to be. What are your thoughts, Sanaziwe?
Yes, Graham, I think that today the youth doesn't see marriage as important, but it still is, because marriage has been there since the beginning of time, and somehow I still see it as a way of getting our morals and behaviors in check, not just a way of bonding ourselves to one person, but still is a way of saying that, okay, this is me, I'm settling down, and I just want my life in check.
I absolutely love that. Life in check. And this says to me that we are expecting things to change the moment we get married.
Exactly right. You know, I think one can get one's life in check even when you're single or divorced or widowed or living with somebody. I don't think marriage should be the place that you go to depend on getting your life in check. And there is, as you say, the expectation that we are going to change, or we're starting a new page and things are going to really go well for us if we get into this thing called marriage. And a lot of people feel there's security in that.
I was going to say, yeah, that seems to be the biggest thing. Is there such a thing as a secure marriage? And I mean that with all due respect.
Well, no, there isn't. There is not a guarantee around that. What is a marriage? A marriage is made up of two people, whether it's male, male, female, female, or heterosexual. And those people are going to determine what kind of security exists. And if you look at the facts around infidelity, for example, and I'm talking in real life infidelity, nearly half men and women have or will commit some form of infidelity in their marriage. And that's besides cyber infidelity, which of course is my area of research and interest.
Yeah.
So we have no idea that how many people are really committing infidelity. So does that really provide you with security? I don't think that the institution of marriage is going to do that. I think that you as an individual person have to commit to your own integrity and your own sense of loyalty to a person. Marriage isn't going to do that, and you don't have to do that in a marriage. But I understand, I sound like a marriage anarchist breaking it down and totally opposed. I'm not. I think that it can be a magnificent place if two people create the kind of relationship that they want, which is very workable and secure for them, with their own rules. Yeah. Don't use the rules which society has said are normal.
Certainly from decades ago as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we have another call on the line. Good morning, Bruce, calling all the way from Springs. How are you?
Fine yourself, thanks.
Very, very good. Bruce, what is your question for Dr. Eve?
I've got a question. I was going to say, when you get married, you're committing 50% basically of your life to your partner. Okay. And where there's no trust, there cannot be love. So you've got to trust each other. You've got to commit yourself towards your partner. I mean, for instance, when you get employed, you are committing yourself to your employee. You don't get employed to say, in 2 years' time, I'm going to chuck this job. You're committing your whole life to your partner, which also, it involves a lot of trust.
Yeah. Bruce, you know, I have just one difference of opinion with you. I don't think you're committing yourself to your partner. You're committing yourself to yourself. You make a commitment to yourself to say, I'm going to be loyal. I'm going to be the kind of person that I want to be. I'm going to be in this relationship in a way that makes me feel full of integrity. I totally agree with you that trust is a foundation. You know, there was a piece of research that was done on a multicultural level, about 250,000 people all over the world, and they asked them, what makes love? What makes something called stable relationship? And there were 4 factors that emerged. It was passion, which is the sexual part of it. There was friendship, there was commitment, and respect and trust. So if you have those as your basis of any kind of form of relationship, even marriage, and you can hold those as an individual, you're going to have a situation which is really happy. And people need to be happy in marriage. You know, when I hear people say, it's such hard work to be married, it's like, you shouldn't be there then. Yeah. You've got to do individual work on yourself to make sure that you do have integrity and you do have loyalty and that you behave in a trustworthy manner. But marriage isn't going to give that to you.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love that. Bruce, thank you so much for weighing in this morning. We're going to continue to take your calls. If you have any questions as well, 08391337228, that is the number to dial. But we also hit the streets to find out what you guys have to say about marriage and how you can make a marriage last.
Secret to a healthy marriage is, I guess, communication and just keeping things new.
I think the secret to a healthy marriage is knowing when to take stuff seriously, because people, they get really into being a specific kind of person in a relationship. So I think just take it easy and actually remember who you're in a relationship with, and don't try to be a different person. Like, don't be a Facebook post, just actually be yourself. No one's gonna judge you behind closed doors. Like, just be genuine and take the right thing seriously. I think that's the only way to do it.
Healthy marriage would probably be being honest, communicating with one another.
You know, when they start relationship, they're all sweet and rosy, they give flowers. But after they get married, it's something different. Like, they seem to be so busy, you know? So you have to be constant in all of this.
The secret to a healthy marriage is humor and patience. Yeah, you have to grow old with that person. You need to laugh at them making stupid decisions and mistakes. So just laugh it off.
Just laugh it off. I absolutely love that. Would you concur? Patience and a good sense of humour are the way to make a marriage work?
I do. And there's another huge big word, which is called flexibility. Not to be held in the rigidity of what the rules say you should be doing. You have to be flexible according to situation. We go through different stages of our lives. And if you're going to just be completely rigid around this is what the rules say, that I always have to love you, I always have to feel in love with you, and I always have to be the person who's going to be cooking or cleaning or doing... You have to be flexible because things keep changing, and couples have to renegotiate their contracts with each other all the time, because life changes. So flexibility is the most important word.
I'm so glad you said that, because Mark, now joining us on the line, one of our callers, has a very novel idea relating exactly to that. Mark, a very good morning.
Good morning, Graham. How are you?
Very good, thanks, my friend. You had a comment, a very interesting suggestion. Please take us through that.
Yes, Graham. Look, here's the thing. I absolutely think that the question is very relevant, number one. I thought about this for a long time, and I'm thinking that in order to bring down the divorce rate, because I think that is the big thing here, the divorce rate, whereby, you know, I don't have a problem with people getting married. I'm personally not married myself. I'm close to 50. So what I wanted to say was the following. I'd like to suggest to society in general, and maybe the Department of Home Affairs and whoever is in charge of getting married and all of those things, that they place a limitation on the official length of time with regard to being married. About 5 years or so. Every 5 years, the couple then goes to the Department of Home Affairs, and if they want to stay married beyond 5 years, they officially renew it for another 5 years. How's that?
I love that, and I love the fact that you clearly have thought long and hard about this, Mark. Thank you so much. It really does raise a very interesting question because, as you said, we are changing, our lives are changing, our reality is changing. What do you make of Mark's suggestion of a renewable wedding license?
That I have heard before, where people say it should be legalized, which I have a problem with, of course, that we only get married for a certain length of time. Every relationship is very unique. I think that couples have got an obligation to be renewing their contracts in an informal, very private and unique way every few months and every few years. They should be sitting down, just like we do at the beginning of the year. We talk a lot about goals that we're setting and commitments that we're going to be making. You should be looking at your relationship very frequently, and especially when there's a crisis like a child being born, or you move to a new place, or where there is a new job or something new that comes up for somebody, or an illness. You want to renegotiate your roles and renegotiate your idea of what a relationship is. I do believe, like Mark said, that there is something called an expiration date for a relationship or for a marriage. And I think that couples need to be honest about that. But we get tangled with things like money and children and feeling guilty, and then
Especially
overcoming
children,
infidelity. So people kind of stay a little longer than what they should be. You know, I'm sounding terribly negative, and I just really want to be clear that there are people who are very happily married, and they have used the principles which make marriage work, which means that they really take personal responsibility for their own roles. They have flexibility. And then, Graham, the most important thing, besides flexibility, is being able to be independent and have freedom. I posted on my Facebook page what we're going to talk about this morning, and I got a comment that said, marriage is just like a prison. Everybody wants to get into it, but once you're in it, you're like you're in a prison. People feel that way, that they feel they lose their freedom, they lose their rights,
inside
and
the
they lose their
institution,
independence.
yeah.
Exactly. And it isn't like that. Freedom and independence are absolutely essential in a marriage, not to go and hurt the other person and to go and practice infidelity, but to still be the best person that you can be within this thing called marriage.
Be the wind beneath their wings. Doc,
Yes,
thank you
Beth
so much.
Midler and all that.
We will always, as always, continue these discussions online, but thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank
We'll
you.
continue our chat. Maybe we can sneak in a few more very positive suggestions. Well, we're all about those magical moments on the show, and I know last year threw up an incredibly magical moment for our Leigh.